All right, welcome in. This next story is good, right? Because it highlights the fact that the people leading us are also the ones that are getting us in trouble. All right, Senator Elizabeth Warren and several other of her colleagues wrote to the Fed Chair Jerome Powell asking him to lower the astronomical interest rates in order to ease housing prices. I mean, that doesn't make sense on its own anyway. But anyway, moving on. The group notes that mortgage rates rose to 20-year highs in the past year during the Fed's interest rate hikes. Yes, they did. And they claim high interest rates have aggravated the country's persistent crisis of housing and access and affordability. Well, I wonder if they accepted blame for massive spending, which ignited inflation in the first place, prompting the Fed to raise those interest rates. I wonder if they did that. I don't think so. But it's just another example of the government having no clue on how the money markets actually work. As if they did, they would have stopped spending a long time ago. That's one of our biggest problems. So my next guest, he definitely knows how these markets work. Please welcome into the show, Craig Bolanos. He's the CEO of the Wealth Management Group in Chicago. All right, Craig. I mean, I can't understand how they would think that writing a letter asking for rates to come lower would help the housing situation. I think it would probably ignite higher prices, number one. But number two, it shows that they're absolutely clueless on the matter of how we got that problem in the first place by them overspending and spurring on the interest rate hikes because of inflation.
Well, you know what? I applaud him. I mean, you wrote a letter. You didn't write it to Santa. You wrote it to the Fed looking for something that you absolutely cannot have. But I do believe in causality. I mean, cause and effect. There is no doubt in my mind that the 1.9 trillion that was passed during the ARP, the American Rescue Plan, that was March of 2021, when inflation was sub 2%, magically created 9.1% inflation 15 months later in June of 2022. So yes, you spend 1.9 trillion and next thing you know, you have 9% inflation. And we all know the cure for 9% inflation is to do what, Scott? Raise interest rates to the point that they're not punitive, raise interest rates to the point that normalcy and common sense exists.
And we did the study here. I did it. Right now we're between the Fed funds rates, 5.25 to 5.5. I said a lot. They talked in terms of ranges, but if you go back 50 years, and the reason why I go back 50 years, as I said it in the last segment, Craig, is that the last 15 years, I think you have to throw out. You can't have artificially low interest rates in your data points because it just screws everything up. But if you go back 50 years, you know what the Fed funds rate average is 5.42%. So we're right there. So all these folks talking about higher for longer, it's really normal for longer, number one. But if Elizabeth Warren and her cronies got her way and they did lower rates, that's going to create that inflation problem again. And it's also going to make housing prices go higher. It's not going to make it more affordable, correct?
No, you're exactly right. It's, again, causality. It's cause and effect. If we lower interest rates right now too soon while inflation remains stubborn, it's kind of stopped dropping. All we're going to end up doing is make things even more unaffordable for people because asset prices are going to once again rise. I don't know. We just aren't talking basic economics in high school or college anymore. I don't understand it. So this open letter is kind of like an open letter to Santa Claus. It's just not based on truth right now. And I'm happy for the Fed. I mean, we put the Fed in place in put the Fed in place in 1913. We created the dual mandate in 1978. And let's just remind everybody why it exists: to maximize employment. Check the box. I think we've got that. And to have low and stable prices. We're not there yet. So let's learn from the past and proceed into a positive future and base our decisions on reality, not what's going to come out and sound good in a tweet or a soundbite, given we're in a major election year.
Okay, so then let me just put on my nefarious hat for a second. Now, she actually had some other senators sign up to this letter, which proves to me that more than just one person doesn't understand basic economics, like you just said. I can't believe that they don't understand that lower rates is going to spur on a housing market, more of a bubble, or at least bring more buyers to the market. More buyers, same amount of inventory is going to make prices higher. But the mere fact that doesn't come up in her thought process, do you think there maybe could be an election at the end of this year, and that might also be the reason why she wants lower rates? I don't know. Just saying.
There is definitively an election later this year. That's the same reason we talked on your radio show on Friday about the decision on the liquid natural gas exports. I mean, the truth is, though, I want to make sure I'm being fair and balanced, Scott. That's the only reason I think you have me, is Elizabeth Warren clearly cares about people. and she knows housing, shelter has been one hell of a problem, but the best way to fix that housing and shelter is free markets, free men, free women making their own decisions. And that's kind of where we need to be. We can't create additional ZRIP, zero rate interest policy. We can't create false stimulus. It ultimately ends up being a problem, and we all can't afford to pay for it, especially where we're at today. So it was an interesting open letter, gave us a great segment, but yes, it makes your head spin on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, you're right. And so, I mean, look, you're right. Open and free market. You said it there. What they realize is that they don't realize rent controls make rents go higher. The regulations to make things more climate friendly in California make housing go a lot higher. All of those things is when the government gets involved and they screw with the laws of nature, it makes things more expensive. 10 more seconds to you and we'll go.
10 more seconds. The things that the government's gotten involved in: housing, education, healthcare. Look at the cost compared to, say, the cost of free markets, which is an automobile. The proof is in the pudding.
Great way to end it, man. You nailed it on the head. Really appreciate you coming on. Craig Bolanos, he's a CEO of the Wealth Management Group in Chicago. Thanks, Craig, for being on the show.